किरण दिनपाठ पठन गुरुबुद्धि वचन इदु विद्यादान ताण पडेदागलेनि सिरि शिक्षण ನಮ್ಮ ಅಂಧಕಾರ ದಮನ ಮಂಗಳೂರು ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾನಿಲಯ ಮಂಗಳೂರು ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾನಿಲಯ ನಮನ ನಮನ ಜ್ಞಾನವೇ ಬೆಳಕು ಬದುಕು ಜ್ಞಾನವೇ ಬೆಳಕು ಬೆಳಗೋಕೆ ಬದುಕು.
Foundation Day and Teachers Day celebration. We are so fortunate to have this celebration being done every year. As individuals celebrate their birthdays, institutions celebrate Foundation Day. And we are having a galaxy of dignitaries, both here as well as entering the auditorium, making a new mark into this foundation. Can I please request each one of you to rise as we are having our dignitaries entering this auditorium and give a thunderous applause cause we are having our dignitaries entering inside to mark the celebration of the 44th Foundation Day and Teachers Day celebration. What a great joy it is to have our dignitaries with us. The chief guest, Dr. Balchandra Mungekar, former member Planning Commission, former member Rajya Sabha and former Vice Chancellor, University of Mumbai. The President of the program, Professor Jairaj Amin Sir, the Honorable Vice Chancellor and all the dignitaries. Can we have all of you taking your seats? It is a vibrant start that we are going to give to the 44th Foundation Day and Teachers Day celebration. Remembering the path traveled is the best way to stay stable. Welcome once again to the 44th Foundation Day and Teachers Day celebration at Mangalore University. Mangalore University was established as a university on September 10th, 1980 with the motto, knowledge is light. This light of knowledge is disseminated by gurus, teachers, and it's a rare moment today wherein we celebrate Teachers Day too at Mangalore University, marking the 135th birth anniversary of Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishna. Hence, on behalf of the administration and statutory officers, we accord the warmest welcome to you to this celebration. Lauded is this moment where I request the dignitaries to kindly come to the dais for this important celebration of the university. May I request Professor Y. Sangappa, the finance officer, to escort the dignitaries to the dais. We are having the president of the program, Professor Jairaj Amin Sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Mangalore University, presiding the program. Can we have applause as we are having the chief guest, Dr. Balchandra Lakshman Mungekar, who is the chief guest today and the person who is going to give the finance officer of Mangalore University, Professor M. Jayashankar, Dean and Technology, P. Income, Dr. Santosh D'Souza, Dean Education. Wow, really nice, real nice. Celebrate as well as a day to remember by everyone associated with Mangalore University. Teachers, staff, here in this hall present here, because teachers have a right to be an essential element to build bonds and make foundations firm. We have with us Ms. Shrivani, Ms. Shushma, and Ms. into each one.
ಆಗಿರದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳಿವಿಗೆ ತೊಡಕು ತೋರದಿಹುದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮನ ಕಳುಕಿರದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ತಲೆ ಬಾಗಿರದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳಿವಿಗೆ ತೊಡಕು ತೋರದಿಹುದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮನೆಯೊಗ್ಗಟ್ಟು ಸಂಸಾರ ನೆಲೆಗಟ್ಟು ಧೂಳೊಡೆಯದಿಹುದು ತಾನ ನಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮನೆಯೊಗ್ಗಟ್ಟು ಸಂಸಾರ ನೆಲೆಗಟ್ಟು ಧೂಳೊಡೆಯದಿಹುದು ತಾನ ನಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸತ್ಯದ ಗಾಧ ನೆಲೆಯಿಂದ ಸವಿ ಮಾತು ಸಲ್ಲಲಿತ ನಡೆಯಿಂದ ಮುಂಬರಿಯುವುದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ದಣಿವಿರದ ಸಾಧನೆಯು ಸಫಲತೆ ಕಡೆಗೆ ತೋಳ ನೀಡಿಹುದು ತಾನ ನಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ತೋಳ ನೀಡಿಹುದು ತಾನ ನಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸುವಿಚಾರ ನಿರ್ಮಲ ಜಲದೊಸರು ಹರಿದು ಕಾಲ ರೂಢಿಯ ಮರಳೊಳಿಂಗಿ ಕೆಡದಿಹುದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೀ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಚಿಂತನವನು ಉದ್ಯಮದ ಸುವಿಶಾಲತೆಯ ಪೂರ್ಣತೆಗೆ ಮುಂಬರಿಸುವಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿಯ ಬಂಧನರಹಿತ ಸುಖದ ಸ್ವರ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಲಿಸೈ ಪಿತನೆಮ್ಮ ನಾಡೆಚ್ಚರಿರಲಿ ಪಾಲಿಸೈ ಪಿತನೆಮ್ಮ ನಾಡೆಚ್ಚರಿರಲಿ ಪಾಲಿಸೈ ಪಿತನೆ ಎಮ್ಮ ನಾಡೆಚ್ಚರಿರಲಿ.
Thank you, research scholars, for invoking God's blessings. It is customary and a privilege to express words of welcome. Honor is mine to request Professor Y. Sangappa, Finance Officer, Mangalore University, to give the introductory remarks as well as welcome dignitaries on and off the days. Over to you, sir.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Very good morning to all of you. Respected our chief guest, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Deans of various faculties, dignitaries, and friends. Fourth Foundation Day and Teachers Day too. On behalf of all those Sir, let me introduce the journey of our university. We were part of University of Mysore until 1980. We became full-fledged university in 1980, and what we accomplished since then is a record. We remember and cherish the contribution of Professor B. Sheikh Ali, the first our journey for the last 43 years. In 60 to 70% of our staff are the daily in university campus, three fledged departments and offering 42 programs. We have 219 affiliated colleges stretching across 3 districts, Dakshina Kannada, Kodagu and Udupi. However, with the launching of a new university, we may have to do away with the 24 colleges located in Kodagu district. We have not grown satisfactorily in terms of recruitment of staff, while the number of colleges and programs steadily increased. This huge gap is further increasing as most of our senior faculty are retiring. So less institutions name. As a result, we have foreign students who are pursuing their graduate, post-graduation and PhD programs in our university. Being internationally recognized university, it has also catered to the local academic demands as imparting quality education to large number of students from socially and economically backward groups. It has also been a center of learning for large number of minority students. The large number of extension activities through more than 20 study centers attached to various departments. Our institutional social responsibility is enlarged when we adopted nearby schools and assisted them in both academic as well as infrastructure wise, and we continue to do so. To assist the ongoing teaching and research activities, we have the adjunct faculty and visiting professors whose service has been utilized to the maximum extent. This university proudly presents of having an alumni association with an association of departmental level associations. It is in this great day I extend our great respect to all those who worked and retired from this university for their contribution, and I expect the cooperation from all those working in the university irrespective of their positions in making university a place to learn and learn to live together. Thank you. And now I am welcoming the esteemed guest of University of Mumbai. So I extend a grateful and heartfelt or cordially welcome to this function, sir. I welcome you. And today's 44th Foundation Day and Teachers Day function, our Vice Chancellor is presided, who is instrumental organizing this program. So I extend a warm welcome to you, sir. I welcome you. I extend a respectful and cordial welcome to our deans, Professor Jayashankara, Dean, Science of Faculty and Science and Technology, and Dean, Faculty of Education, Professor Santosh Gerald, and Dean, Faculty of Commerce and Management, Professor Ishwar, to this function. I extend hearty welcome to this function, our syndicate members, academic council members, chairpersons of various departments, teaching faculty, non-teaching staff, research scholars, students, media persons, and who all gathered in this hall to this function. I welcome one and all to this function. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving those introductory remarks as well as expressing words of welcome. A warm welcome to you too, sir. Humbly, may I please now request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Jayaraj Amin, sir, to kindly give a floral welcome to the chief guest, Professor Balchandra Lakshman Mungekar Sirji, as an expression of love and welcome to Mangalore University. What a nice way to say it with flowers. Thank you, sirs. Thank you. Universities disseminate the light of knowledge, and teachers play a vibrant role in this process. Hence, it is befitting to inaugurate this occasion by lighting of the lamp. I humbly request the chief guest, president, and all the dignitaries here on the dais to light the lamp and inaugurate the 44th Foundation Day and Teachers' Day celebration, as well as offer a floral tribute to Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan on his 135th Thank you, sirs. I quote Martin Luther King Jr. Good people do not need laws to tell them to act responsibly. Similarly, individuals of prominence absolutely need no introduction. But knowing right and knowing good about them is always inspiring. We have Professor Vishwanath, Director, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Study Center, and Chairman, Department of Economics, Mangalore University, with us to introduce the chief guest. Sir, please.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಮಂಗಳೂರು ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾನಿಲಯದ 44ನೆಯ ಸಂಸ್ಥಾಪನಾ ದಿನದ ಮತ್ತು ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರ ದಿನದ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳು. So I just introduce our chief guest. Thank you, sir. It's really a great honor to introduce Professor Balachandra Mungekar to the audience. Professor Balachandra Lakshman Mungekar was born 2nd March 1946. He is an Indian leading economist, educationist, social worker, and a member of parliament. He is specialized in agriculture economics, and he is also an expert on Ambedkar writings and Ambedkar life. Professor Mungekar was born to Lakshman Gopal Mungekar, Sevanti Mungekar, in the village Munge, Konkan region of Maharashtra. His early education was at Navbharat Vidyalaya at Parel, and then he moved to Siddhartha English High School at Wadala, and after that he moved to University of Mumbai, where he did his BA, MA, PhD, and then he joined Reserve Bank of India as clerk. And from there on, his journey starts, and his journey is a remarkable journey. And he was elevated to the level of assistant economist in Reserve Bank of India. And then he joined Mumbai University as assistant professor, and then he became professor of industrial economics and head of the department in the University of Mumbai. And then he was elevated to the level of vice chancellor, the first Dalit vice chancellor of Mumbai University in 2000, and he served nearly 4 years, 3 months. And at that time, the Prime Minister of India, Dr. Manmohan Singh, had invited him to be a member of Planning Commission of India. And he served Planning Commission from 2004 to 2009, and in 2010, he was nominated to the Rajya Sabha. Professor Mungekar has also been the chairman and president of Indian Institute of Advanced Studies, Simla. He also been the chairman of University Grant Commission. He is a prolific writer, great philosopher, and economist who has contributed immensely to the cause of social cause and upliftment of the downtrodden. I just mentioned few positions that he held throughout his career. He was member of Rajya Sabha, and he was the chairman of Consultative Committee of Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, Select Committee chairman of Goods and Service Taxes, Deputy Secretary General of International Buddhist Confederation, former member of Planning Commission, President and Chairman of Indian Institute of Advanced Studies, Simla, Conference President of Indian Economic Association, New Delhi, and many other positions. He had many honorary degrees, D.Litt. Honorary Causa from Vishwesvaraya National Technological University, Pride of Maharashtra Award, and Marathi Arthashastra Parishat Award, and he was the first president of International Conference on Buddhism and the Contemporary World held in Mumbai. And he was awarded Dr. Bharat Ratna Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar by Marathwada Foundation, Rajashri Shahu Memorial Award, Rajiv Gandhi National Award, Bai Madhavrao Bagal Award, Mook Nayak Award, Ambedkar Ratna Award, Satyashodhaka Dinakara Rao Award, Outstanding Economist and Education Award, and many more. And he held many official positions which helped him to contribute to the cause of development of many sections of the society. He was the chairman of National Committee on Buddhist Learning and Teaching, chairman of Standing Committee on Intersectoral Issues of Tribal Development, Government of India. 3 reports he wrote and submitted to the Government of India: the general issues of tribal development, displacement, compensation, resettlement and rehabilitation, rising levels of governance and administration in the tribal areas. These are the very prominent reports, Government of India reports, which he wrote. He was the chairman of National Eligibility Test Review Committee, chairman of Committee on Financing Higher Education and Technical Education of Government of India, chairman of Subcommittee on International Buddhist Commemoration of 2505th Mahaparinirvana of Lord Buddha, chairman of Task Force on Minority Concentrated Towns and Cities, and member of many committees of Government of India. And he travelled widely all over the world, nearly visited 40 countries as chairman and member of Government of India committees and parliamentary committees. He held many academic positions and he has contributed to the academics through his books, research papers and monographs. The very few prominent publications that I would like to give you, the very recent one, he has written more than 15 books like Economic Reforms with Human Face, Ambedkar's Approach to Buddhism Towards Socio-Cultural Democratic Revolution, Mi Asa Gadalo, Buddhism in the 21st Century, Buddhism and Contemporary World, Economy of Maharashtra, Indian Economy in the New Millennium, Political Economy of Terms of Trade. Like that he has, very significant contributions to the field of economics and development. The very recent books, which have, made impact on the society. Essential Ambedkar, which has seen 16 publications published by Rupa and Penguin Publications. Ambedkar contributions, many of you know that Ambedkar wrote nearly more than 12,000 pages. And that Professor Mungekar has summarized the whole writings of Ambedkar into around 500 pages, which he has published as Essential Ambedkar, that has seen 16 prints. I think this is the very famous, most articulated publication in the recent years on Ambedkar. And his autobiography is set to release, that is Remarkable Journey, again by Rupa Publications. And is another book, My Encounters in Rajya Sabha, which I think comprises more than 47 lectures that he delivered in Rajya Sabha. Is also kind of guide to many parliamentarians and the persons aspire to be member of parliament. So we are very fortunate to have this outstanding personality, educationist, economist, Ambedkarite, socialist, social thinker, social worker as chief guest of our 44 Foundation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Well, ladies and gentlemen, dear academicians, the time has come, the most awaited part, the Foundation Day lecture from the very renowned educationist, economist, and most zesty Dr. Balchandra Mungekarji. Sir, over to you, please. Before he starts, he would like to present the book to the Vice Chancellor so that it would be part of the big library, and yes, his thoughts would be disseminated to everyone who reads them. Thank you, sir. We are highly privileged to have you as well as the books. So over to you.
Respected Vice Chancellor, Professor Jairaj Amin, Deans of various faculties, Finance Officer, respected members of the syndicate, Deans of various faculties, teachers, non-teaching staff, students, enlightened citizens, members of the press, and dear colleagues. This is, I think, fourth or fifth occasion that I am present in this hall, prestigious auditorium, to deliver lectures. Being adjunct professor of this university, 2 years I could not come because of, I think, 2019, 20, and 21, because of the disease of corona. When we are celebrating Foundation Day of the university, it is an important milestone in the history of civilization. Now we know that knowledge is light, but knowledge also is power, and light stands for power. Till recently, governments of various countries, and particularly underdeveloped countries or developing countries, did not understand the importance, and that's why they did not invest in education. In fact, Government of India, if we take into consideration, they were considering that investment in education or expenditure on education is rather wasteful expenditure. It was only in 1961 when 73rd American Economic Association Conference, Professor Theodore Schultz, the doyen of agricultural economists in the world, his lecture was Investment in Human Capital. And that was only 17-page lecture. And that became the turning point in the history of civilization. There was discussion on philosophical nomenclatures of why investment in human capital, because investment in machinery, investment in industry, investment in technology, understand, but investment in education means you are considering human beings on par with other tangible means of production. And that is why philosophical justification Schultz has given. And then it changed the entire scenario and brought education to the center stage of process of economic development. That's why I consider it's my privilege to remain present amidst you this morning and share few thoughts about the topic, inclusive economic growth, challenges and remedies. But before that, it was mentioned that I was Vice Chancellor of University of Mumbai, 2000 May to July 2004, and then I joined the Planning Commission. 18th July is the Foundation Day of University of Mumbai. And 4 or 5 days, at least 4 or 5 days, I used to sacrifice all other works of the Vice Chancellor and concentrated myself only on the celebration of the Foundation Day. Starting any kind of institution, whether economic or educational or cultural or any other charitable institution, is a great event in the life of the society. And that is how society makes philosophical progress, economic progress, cultural progress. I heard the development of this university explained by finance officer. During the span of 44 years, I think Mangalore University has surpassed many other universities of your age in respectable fields of education. And I congratulate you all, your management, syndicate members, the teaching staff, scholars, students, and all. Running institution is a collective work. Vice Chancellor is nominal. Vice Chancellor gives the direction. But when Vice Chancellor is able to collect persons under different committees and gives them autonomy and doesn't interfere in day-to-day work of the committees, but then committees are accountable to the Vice Chancellor, and so Vice Chancellor also is accountable to the committees. Because every rupee which is spent on education, so far university is concerned, or high schools or primary schools, that money comes from the public. And that is called the financial administration of education. That's why after congratulating Mangalore University for the novel path that we have traveled during the last 45 years is commendable. And before I forget, I wish all successful for all your future endeavors, and Mangalore University should rise in the map of the education universities in the country in days to come. Let me now come to the topic which is close to my heart, and that is inclusive economic growth. First of all, let me start with what economic growth is. Economic growth is a sustained increase in the volume of the production of goods and commodities over a period of time, generally 5 years or 10 years. India had 5-year plans right from 1951. This Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, unfortunately abolished the Planning Commission. I don't subscribe to that view. Planning Commission has played an extremely important role. But anyway, that is history now. The question is production of goods and commodities, production of goods and services, maximum volume in terms of Paul Samuelson, who was the second Nobel laureate in economics, that when it measured in its value in terms of money, that becomes national income. We call standard CSO definition gross domestic product. Now there are different concepts in economic theory, that gross domestic product, net domestic product, gross value added, net domestic product, net per capita income, and so on. Let us remember that economic growth doesn't mean that cultural growth. Economic growth strictly which is measurable in terms of money and goods and services, and that is how economic growth is measured. Now, economic growth also measured in terms of current prices and constant prices. Now, generally, economic growth which is measured, that is volume of the production of goods and services in terms of money, in constant prices, because that takes care of inflation. Because value of 10 rupees, what was 10 years ago, and value of 10 rupees now 10 rupees is going out of circulation. 5 rupees have got out of circulation. Even beggars are demanding 10 rupees. Earlier they were asking for 1 rupee or 50 paise. Now they also demand 10 rupees. It means that inflation has increased to that extent that 10 rupee note has no value at all. And after 10 years or 15 years, I don't surprise if 100 rupee note also goes out of circulation because of inflation. I don't feel surprised. Now what happens is, the better measure of the economic growth is per capita income. That is total GDP, total national income divided by the total population. But the per capita income also is misleading, because A's income is 10,000 and B's income is 1,000. The average income is 5,500. But one is having 10,000 and other is having 1,000. That's why whatever measure you adopt for economic growth, it is not foolproof. It has got its own limitation. Now there has been debate in Indian economy right from the days of Jawaharlal Nehru. And people, Professor Raj Krishna, who was studying, at that time when Dr. Manmohan Singh was there in Institute of Economic Growth and Delhi School of Economics, he jokingly said that we are having Hindu rate of economic growth. Because 1951 to 1964, rate of growth was around 3.5 to 4%. It was relatively slow, and that's why Hindu society moves very slowly. That's why Hindu rate of growth. I also committed that mistake of calling Hindu rate of growth. But in 1963, while speaking in the parliament, Jawaharlal Nehru, as the Prime Minister, explained, taking into account the challenges that India had to face after independence, partition, 30 lakh people were butchered. Immediately, 1946, there were tribal invaders coming to, and that became the Pak-occupied area. Tremendous violence against women, atrocities, rapes, no foreign aid, no technology. British colonialism dominated and exploited Indian economy for 150 years. Agriculture was starving, no industry. And then Nehru said that, I understand that rate of economic growth should have been relatively higher than this. But taking into account the constraints and the challenges that India had to face immediately after independence, 3.5 or 4% rate of growth cannot be estimated. That's why those of you who are economists and write about economists, please, while talking about Hindu rate of growth, as I was talking 15 years ago, but when subsequently I studied Nehru in detail, I found justification. And the term Hindu rate of growth is wrong. If you want to consider rate of growth 3.5 or 4%, because Hindu society is moving towards progress or social reforms very slowly, even till now, Sabrimala temple, women are not allowed. You can understand. We are talking of women's empowerment. We are talking of gender equality. Isn't it foolish to say that women are not allowed to enter the Sabrimala temple? What kind of empowerment we are talking about? I understand that when you make this kind of statements, people's sentiments are injured. But being honest and committed and conviction to my conscience, I simply can't desist, irrespective of the fact that what people, those who listen to me, think about what I am saying. You can't simply make hollow statements, giving sermons that women empowerment, and after going home, if she doesn't prepare a good cup of tea, you can slap according to your convenience. It's not. That's why the question is that 51 to 64 rate of economic growth was around 3.5 to 4%. 65, 66 and 66, 67, they were two drought years. 67, 68, relatively better. 69, fourth five-year plan began, and 1971 there was Green Revolution. The country which was producing 74.8 million tons in 1968-69 produced 108 million tons in 1971. That was Green Revolution. Mexico and Taiwan. It is called green because wheat production was increased in Haryana, Punjab and Western Uttar Pradesh. 1969 to 1991, 10 economic reforms came under the leadership of P.V. Narasimha Rao and Dr. Manmohan Singh. Again, please remember, economic reforms were not brought totally alone by Dr. Manmohan Singh. As Mr. P.V. Narasimha Rao as Prime Minister would not have stood firmly, Dr. Manmohan Singh told me, and his daughter has written the book, strictly personal. Please read how economic reforms came. When P.V. Narasimha Rao invited Dr. Manmohan Singh, he was teaching in the Delhi School of Economics. He said, when I shall go, I want to have solid support from the Prime Minister. And as far as possible, I should not have any kind of intervention in the policy framework that I shall be making. And then P.V. Narasimha Rao, that's why economic reforms is the combination of the efforts and initiative of P.V. Narasimha Rao, which is a forgotten name, P.V. Narasimha Rao and Dr. Manmohan Singh. As earlier it was Nehru Mahalanobis model, economic reforms is the model of P.V. Narasimha Rao. Now, since day one I had reservations about economic reform, but that's different story. My point is, P.V. Narasimha Rao's name must not be removed from the public memories of our economic reforms in India post 1991 are concerned. 1969 to 1991, 5.5%. 1991 to 2014, 6 to 6.5%. And post 2041, when BJP government under Mr. Narendra Modi came to power, it was 5.5 to 6%. Now these are the figures which are quoting, which I discussed in the parliament, that is Rajya Sabha. Now the question is, we are always considering India as the fifth largest economy. That is largest economy, because America is having nearly $27 trillion economy. Now today rate of exchange is $1 is equal to 83 rupees. So 27 into 83, those many lakhs crores of rupees, or crores of rupees. China is having around $19.5 trillion. Third is Japan, fourth is England, and fifth is France. Now that is why India is emerging economy. But India's total income today is around $3 trillion. And we may emerge third largest economy in course of time. But in order to have $5 trillion economy also, we will have to grow at least by 8, 9, 10% for 10 years. The 10 years is a very long distance period. Anything can happen any point of time. The world is so fluid. You know, in this declaration, Delhi declaration of G20, they did not say war against Ukraine. They said war in the Ukraine. Because war against Ukraine, it means you are directly implicated in Russia. And you are totally dependent, largely depending upon Russia. That's why war in Ukraine, not war against Ukraine. They avoided the reference to Russia. This is how the difficulty in drafting the declaration. Now we may become in course of time. But again, third economy is, for example, the student who comes first in the class, he gets 95%. Second student gets 65%. Now we say that I am second in the class. But second in the class means 95% and 60%. What is the difference? Anyway, whichever party ruling in the country must progress, and we must accept any party's government when they are doing good thing for the nation, forgetting the fact that who is ruling, provided they are taking right course of actions for the people, those who are not getting economic benefit to the extent they are desirable. Now what happens is, income generation and income distribution, they are two different things. Larger volume of production of goods and services or higher rate of economic growth is extremely important, but it is a necessary condition. It is not sufficient condition. Sufficient condition is distribution of that additional income among the people. And among the people means, which are the people? Not Reliance, not Adani, not Vice Chancellors, not IAS officers, not MLAs, not MPs. People means those who are away from getting benefits of economic growth. And unfortunately in India, the income distribution is unequal. The International Monetary Fund World Inequality Report 2023, Thomas Piketty, then World Bank, mean each and every organization, whether domestic or internationally, they have treated that and come to the conclusion that the highest amount of inequality is in India. To quote the figures, 1% in population in India controls 54% of national income and 74% of wealth. Now what is the distinction between wealth and income? Income is a flow that you are getting regular monthly, mainly in your factor earnings, rent, interest, wages and profits in standard neoclassical theory. Asset means asset generates income. So for example, you are having building and you are going on a rental basis. Okay? Because you are having asset that your building or your flat, in all cities, in Mangalore, Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, every city, thousands of flats are empty and people are staying in the slums because people have invested in the flats. That is called real estate. presuming that in the future demand for the houses will be rising and you can get higher price than what you are selling. Let us take my personal example. The flat we purchased, I think in 2004, when I left Planning Commission, it cost to us around 31 lakhs of rupees, which we arranged from the loans. But then somebody was telling me recent value. I'm absolutely illiterate in managing domestic finance. I may be some extent expert to some extent in public finance, but domestic finance, I am zero. I will fail in the first question itself. But somebody was telling me, now it is 2.9 crores of rupees. What happened during last 40, 30, 20 years? Nothing happened. It is artificial rise or raising the prices unrestricted because there is no government control. Because you are in the market economy. Even professors, vice chancellors, IAS officers, those who do not have black money, they cannot purchase one-room kitchen even in the city of Mangalore today. When I resigned as vice chancellor, my total provident fund and gratuity was 11 lakhs of rupees. Now monthly salary of IIB, that is Indian Institute of Bombay, Bangalore, the monthly salary they are getting 12 lakh rupees. Thomas Piketty said that today income inequality is largely because what is called the differential in wages. That's why income distribution is absolutely unequal, and that is how why income inequality is unequal. I shall come to the causes very slowly. The first is, let us take the case of poverty. Now poverty was much in 1961, slowly got reduced. Now it is 13.5% poverty, people below poverty line. Now I understand that we are having 140 crore people. I understand large population. But large population doesn't mean that we should not pay special attention to the basic requirements. In economics we talk about necessities, comforts and luxuries. 40% top people, they want more and more luxuries. Lower middle class people somewhat comforts middle class. But people below poverty line, what do they want? They want ordinary things. They want food. That food is given now. Food Security Act, fortunately, which was brought by the Congress government in 2013, very late. And the credit goes to Mrs. Gandhi because Planning Commission was not willing. 3 rupees kg you are getting rice. It is much below considering the economic cost of rice. Economic cost of 1 kilogram of rice is 22 rupees per kg. It is given for 3 rupees. Wheat, 17 rupees economic cost. Economic cost means the price which is given to farmer till it is given and it is storage and distributed. And that is made available, and that is why people below poverty line, they decline largely not because of economic growth mainly. It is largely because food was made available, and still millions of children and women in the rural areas, they are starving because even they don't have even that 3 rupees, and that's why National Employment Guarantee Scheme was implemented. That's why unemployment is the major cause. 40 crore people belonging to the age group of 15 to 29, they are in the labor market. We have to provide the jobs. You can't, please remember this thing. I have got strong political views and political ideology. When I discuss about economics, I bring my opinion, but I don't discuss parties. Because in parliamentary democracy, parties will come and parties will go, but nation will continue, and that's why economists' job is to discuss the issues dispassionately. 40 crore people require the job. That's why it is not enough to give the slogans of job creation. Actually, if there are, suppose tomorrow Mangalore Municipal Corporation give the advertisement for 100 post of clerks, minimum 1 lakh applications will come for that post, including those who are MBA, PhD, etc. In Maharashtra Public Service Commission, for Talati means village revenue officer. For village revenue officer, that 712, Sat Bara, that extract which the British had introduced. For that Talati post, village revenue officer, nearly 3 lakh applications came. That's why it is havoc. This kind of unemployment. That's why government may come government, but any government for that matter must create jobs. And how to create jobs? I shall be coming then. Inflation. Tomatoes were selling in Mumbai. I don't know what was the cost at that time in Mangalore, but 200 kgs. Now it is 7 rupees kg. Now tomato is essential commodity. I was thinking that why people are paying so high price for tomatoes? Why they can't manage without tomatoes? You want rice, jawar, bajar, understand, but tomato is not necessary. When somebody told me no tomato required, then purchase at 200 rupees. We are consumers also responsible for allowing them to increase the prices beyond our capacity. We don't know how to resist. We don't know how to oppose. Suppose, for example, tomato is essential commodity. 8 days you don't eat tomato at all. Nothing is going to happen. Human being can remain alive without water for 72 hours. The only tangible thing or intangible thing, invisible thing, that we cannot remain more than 15-20 seconds, and that is air, and that is free of charge. After 10 years, the air, as you are getting Bisleri water, the oxygen cylinders also will be provided through. You won't get oxygen free of charge because of carbon dioxide is so much mixed. That's why unpolluted air, if you want oxygen, after 20 years you will get into shorter cylinders. Then that will be the problem. What I am saying is that inflation, people are sort of partly responsible. They must resist. I have started vegetables market in my colony. I am the chairman of that. Nearly 700 flats out there. I have entered into the agreement with the food producers in Nasik. And every day morning, 1 truck of vegetables come to our colony. Within 20-30 minutes, the vegetables, fresh, free, 30%. You need not go to market, did not spend on your car petrol, and you are completely happy. Now I think these are the novel things, these are the novel experiments that people should try. Tax evasion and black money. How much black money in the country? See, black money means money is not black, currency notes are black. Money black means unreported economy, which is hidden. And what is the estimate? Minimum 20% to 40% is the unreported economy in the country. First thing the people in India, those who said, I am not corrupt, please remember, this is 50% truth. The people, those who say that I am not corrupt, the main reason is there is no opportunity to get corruption. The moment you get the opportunity, you forget your convictions. 10-15% people might be genuinely, even if there is opportunity, no, this is my value and my conviction. I tell you one illustration. It's not proper for me to mention, but please apologize. I tender apology to you. My relationship with Dr. Manmohan Singh is very personal for last 20 years. Every 3 months, 4 months, I go to Delhi after my term of Rajya Sabha is over just to see him. And then we discuss for about 1 hour, and very personal. And despite the fact that we are having differences, it was his magnanimity that knowing my differences on economic reforms with him, he took me to the Planning Commission. When 16th November 2016, the demonetization took place. After 10 days, I went to see Dr. Manmohan Singh at his residence. And he told me, you know what happened? I thought that something happened. He said, after demonetization, we had only 2 lakhs rupees in cash. And I was surprised. I was worried what to do. Prime Minister of the country, 2 lakh rupees cash, it was problem for him. That is Dr. Manmohan Singh, the tallest Indian at this moment of time. You may have differences with Dr. Manmohan Singh, his policy or this or that. But former Prime Minister, having problem how to manage 2 lakhs rupees, Now 2 lakh rupees or 20 lakh rupees or 20 crores of rupees, just they are peanuts for relatively affluent and rich people, those who are holding money. Recently, unfortunately, I have seen the movie because of my children's insistence. They say Jawan. Jawan is the movie, and then the movie has. I mean, it is very difficult to tolerate. But then I thought many times to leave half the way. But then I thought that if I get out and be fractured, it is better to see the movie rather than getting fractured, because there was darkness in the auditorium. System is totally rotten. You are waiving 4.5 lakh crores of loans of big industrialists, and you are confiscating utensils and saris and small silver, I mean not silver, wooden plates in the farmers' houses, because they are not willing, they are not able to pay the installments of banks of few thousand rupees. This kind of paradox you cannot continue. Tax evasion, regressive tax policy, indirect taxes. Now we have got GST. I was member of the select committee. Now GST was good measure, but the GST was implemented absolutely in bad manner. Goods and services taxes was introduced in India very much late. And goods and services taxes means that the purpose is to integrate entire Indian economy in one market. And that was standard rate we suggested was 18. Across the country, there is only one tax rate for all. That will be compensation. They introduced 5 tax rate. And why there should not be differential tax? Suppose, for example, Karnataka is having higher tax rate, and Andhra is having lower tax rate. All investment will be going from Karnataka to Andhra Pradesh. That's why when there is uniform tax structure, the states will be competing with each other. But where the tax rates are different, and we suggested 18. Western countries it is 3 and 4%. Only one country which is having highest tax rate, that is Venezuela. Venezuela is 1/10 of Mangalore. That is 27%. But anyway, wage inequality. Cabinet secretary is getting 2.5 lakh rupees per month salary. Nowadays, I think professors also are getting good salary. We give credit to professors for teaching or whatever they are doing. But the question is that IAS officers, celebrities, managing directors, I mean, wage, and that is Thomas Piketty. His argument is that present economic inequality, they are arising largely because of wage inequalities. Now the question is, when we are talking about this kind of policies or inclusive economic growth, and we say people below the poverty line, and in economics, who is poor you can identify, but what is poverty, it becomes problematic. But because how to measure poverty, it is a statistical problem. Then your what is called nutritional problem. It is a problem of the measurement, and that debate was going on. But suppose broadly, if we identify the classes, who are the people poor? When we say that we should remove poverty, whose poverty we have to? Vice chancellors? First, scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, agricultural laborers, landless laborers. Who is agricultural labor? Agricultural labor means agricultural worker and agricultural laborer, they are two different things. Even big landlord, also agricultural worker. Those who works on agriculture or the farm is agricultural worker. Agricultural laborer means who draws more than 50% of his wage income from working as a laborer is agricultural laborers. There are further categories, agricultural laborers with land and agricultural laborers without land. That's why landless agricultural laborers. Small and marginal farmers, those who don't have land, those who have land, okay, below, marginal means below 1 hectare, and small means below, between 2.5, between 1 and 2 hectares. No irrigation, no credit, no market facilities, no storage facilities, no technology, dry land farming, they also are poor. poor women in the rural areas, across the section. It's not only scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. All poor women belonging to different castes in different regions of the country, they are, and particularly widows, those who are heading the family, their conditions are absolutely precarious. I have seen virtually whole of the country, whole, except 2 or 3 states. In the interior part, 400 kilometers into Orissa, away from Bhubaneswar. The conditions are absolutely, I tell you, the cities we are shining comfortably, that also they are dilapidating. Water supply, road transport, sanitation, drinking water, congestion, pollution. We don't have planned cities at all. After 1951, we made major mistake. If you go to Bombay, for covering 4 kilometers, you spend not less than 1.5 hours. Because people have constructed buildings, people have constructed hutments, encroachment anywhere. Even university areas also are encroached by outsiders, and government doesn't pay any attention. Now what are the reasons for that government doesn't pay any attention? Government hereafter will not be interested in running public universities. Governments of all the states and the center will be interested in running and giving permission to the private universities, because we are having 40 crore or 30 crore middle class. Their children can afford to go to the private universities and private colleges. Poor people, they are going to general university. That's why the general university, they survive or they don't survive. The ruling classes in the country will not bother much about it. It is independent of political parties I am talking about. Keenly, I have observed the political and economic scenario after independence, keenly, party-wise. Then rural artisans, minorities, Muslim condition particularly. I mention Muslim because what happens is that 15 crore population of the country minorities, out of total minorities, 6 minorities, Muslims constitute 75%. 15 crore Muslims, 2.5 crore Sikhs, 2.4% Christians, 80,000 or I think 80 lakhs Buddhists, Parsis few lakhs, 1.5 lakhs or so. But Muslims are predominant, 15 crore people. The poverty among the Muslims is highest. They are not given accommodation in the general societies because they are considered as traitors. I am talking to you, you will mention that why I am talking these things in the inclusive economic growth. 15 crore Muslims don't have equality or they don't have equal rights as the citizens. What is patriotism, Desh Bhakti or Rashtra Bhakti? Unless anybody's Rashtra Bhakti or Desha Bhakti or patriotism must depend upon individuals' actions. Suppose I held so many positions. In any of the positions, if I have done anything wrong or harmful to the nation, then despite the fact, whatever my caste, whatever my language, whatever, I am anti-nation. Because I am doing harm. All the people, those who ran away, they are affluent sections of the society. 4.5 crore lakh crores of rupees defaulted loans of commercial banks. Who are they? I mean, that's why the question is minority people. Now we have to consider knowledge is power, knowledge is light, everything. But people must have access to knowledge. Many of you elder people, those who are above 50 or above 60, would not have taken education provided if education is free in India after independence. Private university, they are charging 1.5 crore for MD seat. And your state, Maharashtra, Andhra, they are leaders. Where from people will bring money? That's why hereafter, forget about workers, forget about landless laborers, forget about lower middle class, even middle class families to which we belong. We also would not be able to send our children or grandchildren to the colleges where we have to pay more than 50, 60, 70 lakhs or 1 crore fees. And I was knowing that what is going to happen after 1991, what kind of economic inequality will prevail. All of these people, they constitute, and I mentioned to you about what is called economic inequality. Now let us take in case of the Human Development Index. In 2020, value of Human Development Index is 1, means you are having perfect economic equality. 2020 it was 6.645. 2022 value came down 0.633. It means during 2 years, 12 percentage point, your value of Human Development Index decline. Now India is growing, but people are becoming poorer. Because the benefits of economic growth, they are largely shared, largely pocketed by relatively most affluent and influential sections of the society. One simple contract for 5 lakhs of rupees in any city would not be granted to the person without having some influence and without giving some money to the concerned official. Will not. When we talk about Western civilization, you know what will happen? I had gone to, in 2013, I had gone to Washington on about American tour. It was public cum private tour. My wife and myself, we were traveling in the bus, and third car was big car, and there was signal, and car stopped. So my wife asked that, who's traveling in that big car? I asked my friend, that car was Barack Obama. It means American president also have to follow the road signal. Here what happens? If some corporator comes, then also road is closed. Prime Minister forget. This mental slavery of the people, unless we remove, economic growth would not help. Now what is to be done? There are economic growth in order to make inclusive. Inclusive means all people. Now please remember again, Amartya Sen has extensively written about it. First is on inequality, and second, inequality re-examine. They are philosophical somewhat, but please go through those who are interested in that. This people below poverty line declined for 13.5% in 2023, largely because the policies were adopted during United Progressive Government headed by Dr. Manmohan Singh during 2004 and 2014. 2014 to 2019, poverty declined substantially. But out of those 9 years of the United Provincial Government, and 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18, 5 years of Narendra Modi's government, BJP government. But out of these 14 years, 9 years were of the UPA rule. And what happened during UPA rule? I was privileged to become member of the Planning Commission. First of all, 11th plan brought right-based approach to economic growth. The title of the 11th plan was toward faster and more inclusive growth. That's why right-based. And what was right? 11th plan, health and education. 30% of the expenditure of the 11th plan, which was 14.5 crores of rupees, was spent on health and education. 20% on education. All these new universities, new IITs, new IIMs, new IIM, everything, 300 model, 70 model schools. Then Mahatma Gandhi National Employment Rural Guarantee Scheme. People, those who are unskilled, every able-bodied person from unskilled family must be given minimum 100 days of job at the minimum wage. Now nobody is getting, but at least they are getting 60 days. Now any 5-star hotel in Mangalore or Bangalore, Mumbai of course, and Kolkata and Delhi, not less than 10,000 rupees per day minimum, normal room in 5-star hotel. Here under employment guarantee scheme, they are getting annual income from the employment guarantee minimum 10,000 rupees. That is 1,000 rupees average. That is also great help for the poor people. For us, 1,000 rupees is peanuts. Midday meals. 20 crore children in the country, and I have 6 or 7 states I have gone, midday meals. They are taking food by 11:30 across the country. They are getting hot meal, and that's why attendance in the school increase and dropout decline. Right to information. You are making application that you want information. Then national food security, I just now mentioned to you. Scheme for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. Karnataka government has made the act that the expenditure on the development of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe must be in proportion to their population. Andhra government has passed the legislation. Rural infrastructure, urban infrastructure. Your 52 airports were constructed during that 10-year period under the leadership of Dr. Manmohan Singh. Your Mangalore airport, just like slum 20 years ago. Mumbai airport also was just like slum, and Delhi also. Nobody could recognize. Now today we are selling the airports and giving them to private individuals. That is unfortunately deplorable. What are the remedies for what is called to make growth inclusive? First, the most important single program and the challenge before this and the remedy is now creating more and more jobs for all sections of the society. Controlling inflation, Essential Commodities Act 1956 was partly abolished. Government must identify around, as it was the case at around 15-20, most essential commodities and services where people, including education, capitation fee must be banned. People should be put into jail. But people don't pay attention because affluent people afford. Some people, why Mungegar you are opposing? Those who are having money, they are paying. But the question is, those who are not having money, what they should do? The major question is for whom to run the country. Country belongs to whom? Every citizen, and that don't bring party politics inside at all. We are independent citizens, whoever may be party. Your own party also you must be able to raise the question that what we are doing. Controlling inflation, more expenditure on health. You know what is happening health? These 5-star hospitals, how much money they are charging? Other day my daughter, she was ill slightly because of hypertension. She was admitted one night in the morning, today admitted, whole day today, and tomorrow evening she was discharged. 1.5 lakh rupees, the fees for one night and one day. And she was given the room just like 2-bedroom hall kitchen. She was insisting that I'm a doctor and give me a small room. I haven't come here to stay. I don't want luxurious room. Despite the fact that rooms were available, one room of cot or double 2 cots, she was not given the room. This is exploitation. This is brutality. This is crime. And she tells me that nearly 32,000 OPD patients are going to KM Hospital, that is municipal hospital, every day. If you go to the special doctor, he will say that you have this test. Then he will tell that you go to B doctor will suggest, then he will suggest 3, then you go to C doctor. There is chain of doctors, which is not necessary. They should sit down, you try to get examined and X-ray of your kidney. If your ear is paining, you say there's some connection to kidney. I mean, this is something every profession head should have must ethics. Education. Now we say all people, we search the names of the universities in the best world university, 100 university. Columbia University, I went first in 2000 December. 18,000 students were there in Columbia University in 2000 December. 23rd December 2000, I was in Columbia University. 18,000 students, and every student was given locker. Student, here professors are quarreling among themselves for sharing the lockers, university. 1966 Kothari Commission suggested 6% of GDP you should spend on education. During 11 5-year plan, we made it 4.5%. Again now came to 3.5%. 1966, 6%. It is not Lakshman Resha. By this time it would have been 14%. How much education they are spending? And you want top universities, you want skill development, you want multiple skill development, outstanding universities. Princeton to reach, it will take minimum 100 or 200 years. And if we proceed this way, reducing expenditure, all 40% professor post in all the universities, they are vacant. Teaching posts are vacant. If black money is controlled by 1%, all teaching posts across the countries, they will be filled in. Minimum 20 to 30% vice chancellor post in the state universities are vacant. I had gone to one state, I don't want to mention, it is progressive state, progressive means rich and affluent state. IAS officer, collector, he was made acting vice chancellor of 7 universities simultaneously. When you are having vice chancellor, you find difficult to run the university because vice chancellor is preoccupied with the function, right? Sometimes doing from clerical job to the vice chancellor. How university can run? You know that particular university will be, vice chancellor will be retiring 6 months. Today you should make preparation, and the day vice chancellor retires, that evening he should give the charge to the new vice chancellor. That you can't do. What kind of planning you are having? And we are talking of minimum government and maximum governance. I mean, I'm not talking particularly, but the question is whether system is running or not. Health के बारे में I told you, all public hospitals. I came to Mumbai in 1960 for high school education. Population was 35 lakhs. There were 5 general hospitals. Now population of Mumbai crossed 2 crore. The same 5 general hospitals. How the doctors can examine? Doctor says, come in, then you go, examines your nadi, give medicine, they are such standard medicine. He can't spend 1 hour for one, then 32,000 patients are coming. Implementation of the schemes, it's not enough to have good schemes. First of all, you don't have good schemes. But whenever you are having good schemes, you should be able to implement best possible way. Now politicians and bureaucracy, there is a nexus. And both of them, they're coordinating and implementing schemes in such a way. In Maharashtra, all 18 municipal corporations don't have election for last 16 or 17 months. And their municipal commissioner, they're managing the without corporators. I suggest to the government, even I was there in the planning commission, and Dr. Manmohan Singh was presiding over the meeting of the full planning commission. That is, we want national urban employment guarantee scheme. Because people, those who are educated, MA, MCom, PhD, that is, their mind is empty devil. You know how Naxalite movement began in 1969, 1966. Right to health. Every citizen must be given minimum insurance. That was Ambedkar's suggestions in, I think, 1946, when he presented the memorandum to the Constituent Assembly. Every person must be given insurance policy. National Health Rural Mission that we had brought in the Planning Commission at that point of time. Nobody should be dying because of no basic medical facilities are available. Restructuring agriculture. What is crisis of agriculture? Farmers are committing suicide. There was heated debate in the Planning Commission. And then Dr. Manmohan Singh sent me and 2 other members to Vidarbha. And then next day he came and he came out of the airport and I was there and he asked me, Professor, what to do? Sir, I said that we have to give minimum 5,000 crores of rupees package. 3.5 crore to 5 lakh farmers committed suicide during last 15 years. Even Britishers' time, no farmer in India committed suicide because of poverty. And what democracy we are talking about, what equality we are talking about, what consideration we are talking about, what empowerment we are talking about. Agriculture today is having around 56% of the workforce, 60% population, and 13% share in the national income, GDP. So 13% income supporting 60% population, it is naturally, the ratio is unequal, and that is why it is disproportionate. That is why rural poverty is more. Indian scholars, they are going abroad in Harvard University for doing PhD on poverty in India. But you go to rural areas, Karnataka or Maharashtra or Andhra Pradesh or UP and Bihar. Affirmative action. Now in Maharashtra, Maratha community is asking for reservation. Now all the dominant communities, your Okkaliga and then Lingayats and many other communities in Andhra Pradesh, in every other state, other than scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, also there are poor population. They must be given some salvation. They must be given some support. But then people are demanding that reduce OBC quota and give reservation to us. I don't think that is possible. OBC already are 52% and they are given 27%. 27% reservation to OBC were given in the higher education in 2008 only because of Dr. Arjun Singh Ji, HR Minister, and allow me to say, Bhalchandra Mungekar. There were no people at all. That's why there should not be conflict between affluent people or relatively rich people or upper caste people and lower caste people. But the second question is, whether the jobs for getting more and more reservations? Because it will be extremely difficult. Jobs are not. Even police force, policemen are appointed in Mumbai, Maharashtra on contract basis. Railway privatization, entire catering private. Everything is private except MLAs and MPs. I mean, this is something funny. So this issue, we have to ask for more and more employment generation consistent with the skills of the people. Now we are talking of skill development, Skill India, India Skill Mission. Actually, where is the formation of skills? Now, in this context, I have got model of that immediate model which Karnataka in the last election they gave the promise, and I am very happy. People say that money, why to spend money on the poor people? Arey, this country belongs to poor people also. Every rupee that we are spending on this function, including my travel, has come from public money. That's why when I was Vice Chancellor, my car was available to any member of the staff throughout the day when I don't want to go outside. If there was emergency and the employee of the university was supposed to be taken to the hospital. Because I told them in the Senate meeting, this car doesn't belong to me. First is Shakti, travel facility to women without payment, free travel pass. Then Gruha Jyoti, extending 200 units of electricity to each home. Anna Bhagya, free food gains of 10 kilograms to per person, rupees 170 per head in lieu of 5 kgs of food grains. Gara Lakshmi, 2,000 per month to the female head of the family. Yuva Nidhi, 3,000 per month graduates and 1,500 to diploma holders. My only one suggestion is, these schemes are, your chief minister is absolutely close friend of mine for last 15 years, because he used to come to the planning commission. Along with, at that time he was in another party. My question is, I appreciate this policy, but the question is, without causing additional burden on the revenue, you have to manage compensate the expenditure from the wasteful expenditure on the other rates of the expenditure and divert the monies. Because we have to have balanced budget also. Now these schemes, now Prime Minister mentioned that this is Revdi politics. Revdi is the word. But if you take into account during 2014, 2020 and including 2024, Revdi politics most entertained by the Prime Minister. When opposition parties are doing the same thing or better thing, then you are considering Revdi politics. Revdi means giving something free. Now free you are giving, I understand, but then you have to compensate that expenditure, and the burden on the exchequer will be definitely there. But avoiding waste expenditure, adjusting the expenditure on the other heads, for example, administration. Now administration, salaries for example, or the free facilities for MLAs, MPs, ministers. I mean, there is substantial scope for reducing. It is not necessary that you bring additional money, because Karnataka government cannot print additional money because that right is the Reserve Bank of India. That's why for the poor, what happens is that in this country, when I was appearing on Times Now regularly in Delhi, this country there is a fashion that something given to the rich, that is considered as incentive. And when something is given to the poor, that is called populism. That is populism. Giving first class air ticket to Mungekar, that is incentive because there should not be any uncomfort to me. And giving 2 bottles of water to a person who is medically ill, that is considered as populism. Giving comfortable first class air ticket to me, that is populism. To tell the people outside how Mangalore University treated me, you also go there. That's what the last question, last point is, seriously we have to think, growth for whom? And my answer is, economic growth is necessary but not sufficient condition. While securing higher rate of economic growth, you must also ensure that those who are not able to share the benefits of economic growth, either because of illiteracy, either because of unemployment, either because of geographical aloofness, because of language barriers. You know, your Kannada language is a classical language. All southern states, Kannada, Telugu, Tamil and Malayalam. You read sometime Grammar of Dravidian Languages. That is outstanding book, how they are classical languages. But in India, more prestige is given to the person who is speaking wrong English rather than who is speaking correct Kannada. So this kind of mental framework we have to get rid of, and then genuinely growth for the people, of the people and by the people. Thank you very much for, I wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir, for your lecture on inclusive economic growth, challenges and remedies. Thank you for taking through the journey of Indian growth and for the message on sustainable development, stating that development is about transforming lives of people and not just transforming economies. This was the Foundation Day lecture of the 44th year celebration. Well, with a forte on international relations as well as Indian and international political economy, with nearly 30 years of teaching and research experience, various professional collaborations and research publications, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Jairaj Amin Sir, has been ably taking care of Mangalore University as its Vice Chancellor since June 2023 and its 100 days in office of efficient administration. Well, it's definitely a milepost, and we congratulate you, sir, on this milepost of being 100 days in office. Sir, we are now awaiting for the presidential remarks.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Respected Chief Guest of the Day, Dr. Balchandra Mungyaka, Finance Officer and Registrar in Charge, Professor Y. Sangappa, Deans of Faculties, distinguished members of Syndicate, Academic Council and other authorities of the University, faculty members, administrative staff, research scholars, students and media persons. At the outset, I wish you all a very happy Foundation and Teachers' Day. Now, we have listened to a brilliant lecture by Dr. Balchandra Mungyaka, who actually covered so many aspects in the economic management of the country and said that how important it is to have inclusiveness in the economic growth. With the same intention, Mangalore University is also focusing on inclusiveness in education. So, Mangalore University, as our finance officer earlier has said, was established in September 10, 1980 as an offshoot of University of Mysore with the dream of becoming university with a difference. Over the past 43 years, Mangalore University has grown in stature and has earned a respectable position among the higher educational institutions in the country. We have achieved greater strides in terms of infrastructure development, strengthening academic ambience, introduction of new academic programs and signing of MOUs, introduction of National Education Policy 2020, increasing number of research publications and projects, outreach activities, improved student well-being and learning experiences, and a very strong alumni association. We are marching towards excellence with the philosophy of continuity with change and continuous learning, improvement and development. Mangalore University has always been ready to experiment with the new educational initiatives. In fact, Mangalore University was one of the first university in the state to implement new education policy. The university has also largely made up the academic losses that are suffered during the corona days, and we are happy to note that the university is much ahead of other universities in fulfilling its academic responsibilities. The university has always been sensitive to the emerging issues and has always responded proactively to the issues. For instance, Mangalore University was the first university of the Karnataka to adopt gender policy and the cultural policy. Now, both these policies represent the progressive vision of the university. Gender policy underscores the university's concern for gender equity in the society and in university. The cultural policy harnesses the cultural treasure and attempts to shape the students with the competence to contribute to the moral and socio-cultural fabric of the nation. Further, the university has also contributed in its own way to preserve the environment. As a result, our university was ranked second place in the country and 152nd position at the global level in the UI Green Metric World Ranking for the year 2022. Mangalore University has also taken initiative to implement Mangalore University Environment, Health and Safety Policy to promote environment-friendly strategies, keeping in mind the sustainable growth of the university and to enhance the green initiatives. Other initiatives of the university includes signing of about 29 MOUs for various academic and outreach programs, extensive use of e-office, introduction of certificate courses in Kodava language for the first time, value-added courses in all PG programs, launching of sports science laboratory on the campus, community engagement and service with the support of our NSS, Youth Red Cross, NGOs, study centers, endowment chairs, village awareness programs for the 5 adopted villages and upgrading of the infrastructure of 15 adopted government schools. In order to bring in the excellence and experience to the university, in accordance with the UGC framework, Mangalore University has taken initiative for introducing professors of practice in the university that seek to bring the industry and other professional expertise into the academic institutions and strengthening of industry-academia collaborations. Besides, keeping in view the requirements of time, university has also initiated the process of creation of new departments in this academic year, such as microbiology, biochemistry, and the Department of Tulu. We are happy to note that our teachers are doing extremely well in terms of research and publication. As a result of this, now the H index of the university stands at 79. We are also proud that our students are performing extremely well in many areas. For instance, one of our students, Ms. Bhavani Yadav Bhagavati, has secured a bronze medal in long jump in the World University Athletic Championship conducted by International University Sports Federation at Chengdu, China on August 2nd, 2023. We are sure in the days to come, our university will be able to reach new heights and be a top-class university. And I am confident that all stakeholders will support the university in this endeavor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your message on this Foundation Day. Thank you for the presidential remarks. It's a fortunate moment for us to have Dr. Balchandra Mungekar with us, and the university would like to felicitate sir on this occasion. May I please request our Honorable Vice Chancellor and the dignitaries on the dais to offer felicitations to Dr. Balchandra Mungekar. A proud moment to have you here, sir, and for giving us that message, the lecture on the Foundation Day. Having you here at Mangalore University, also as an adjunct professor, is our joy. Thank you, sir, for everything that you have done for Mangalore University. Thank you very much. Well, it is said, humility is a solid foundation of all virtues, and mother of all virtues is expression of gratitude. This is the celebration of the 44th Foundation Day, and we sincerely thank the chief guest, Dr. Balchandra Mungekar ji, for giving the Foundation Day lecture, for being here, for your very presence and spreading that vibe on this 44th Foundation Day and Teachers Day celebration. Thank you very much, sir, for your time, for your effort, and for always being here for our university. The president of today's program, Professor Jairaj Amin, sir, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Mangalore University. Sir has been in office and always been available to everyone who needs his help, and yes, he is the one who has made many things possible. This program is, yes, a witness to his dedicated service. Thank you, sir, for everything that you have done. We remain grateful. We thank the Registrar of Mangalore University, Professor Raju Krishna Chalnavar, for all the arrangements done. We thank Professor Y. Sangappa, the Finance Officer and Registrar in charge, for giving everything for this program and always been available for your words of welcome and the finance too. Thank you, sir. We place on record gratitude to our deans, Professor M. Jayashankar, Dean Science and Technology, Professor Ishwara P., Dean Commerce and Management, Dr. Gerald Santosh D'Souza, Dean Education. Thank you for your presence and for your contribution towards the growth of the university. We thank Professor P.L. Dharma, the coordinator of this program, Professor of Political Science, for all the efforts being done. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Professor Vishwanath, sir, for introducing the chief guest and for putting your efforts in the success of this program. Thank you very much. We thank all the officials of the university, members of the syndicate, members of the academic council, chairpersons of the department, faculty and research, the staff members of Mangalore University, research scholars, students, principal and staff and students, in particular of the first grade college. Thank you very much. We thank you sincerely. Thanks to the research students who led the prayer. Thanks to the head of all the central facilities and other centers, staff of the engineering division, computer science department, invitees, members of the press, everyone gathered here without naming anyone but considering everyone. Thank you for the contribution to the success of this program. Can we have a thunderous applause, because you have been so good, and thank you everyone for making this program a memorable one. This has turned out to be a day to celebrate and rejoice. Before concluding, Happy Teachers' Day and wishes of the 44th Foundation Day celebration. Can we please rise for the national anthem?
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल वंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभाशिष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Requesting the audience to kindly be seated as we are having our dignitaries making their way from the dais. We are having a group photograph being captured. May I request all the dignitaries to come near the entrance of Mangala Auditorium, and all the teachers taking the first place on the stairs, and then everybody here being part of the photograph. Can we give a big round of applause to all the dignitaries here when they are moving out?